Welcome to BIB Today, the daily podcast from the newsroom of business in Vancouver. I'm Kirk LaPointe, publisher and editor-in-chief. A real change of pace today, a move away from the very gloomy ongoing news about the coronavirus and its impact on our economy. A trip up to the Yukon, where my guest has been delivering what I think has been the greatest gift of all to us during the pandemic. Delight, joy, enthusiasm, optimism. Gurdeep Pandher has been setting up a camera in the woods, on the frozen river, near his home, all over the place for the last while, and recording a minute or so every day of Bhangra. He's become a worldwide sensation of it, and it's my pleasure to take him away from dance for a few minutes today to talk. Nice to see you.
Very nice to meet you, Kirk, and very nice to be on your network, BIV.
Yeah, well, I have to ask you, some people have made masks in this time. Some people have knitted mittens for people. Some people have taken to doing all kinds of really generous things. How did you arrive at the idea to do this with generosity for people?
I've been feeling that this pandemic, it created a lot of pressures, a lot of problems, like businesses, they had to close their businesses, like people had to quit their jobs, or if not quitting, they had to readjust in a significant way. So it caused a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. So I thought that I could offer a gift of smile, a gift of joy, a gift of positivity, which is very, very important for our mental health and also for our physical health as well. So yeah, that's how I came up with this idea that, hey, I'm gonna share joy with the world.
Yeah, and so you've gone all over the place to do this. I mean, it's not like you just go 15 meters outside your cabin and do this every day. You're taking yourself into some fairly far-flung places in order to do it. How far have you traveled every day to set up the camera and get it done?
Yeah, I go to all like wilderness spaces like lakes, mountains, very nice photogenic sceneries. Yeah, sometimes I travel like 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers, maybe 100 kilometers. It depends how much is the weather on that day. Like on frozen lakes, on frozen rivers these days, because our river is frozen as well. On mountains and in the forest, we have a big, huge forest. Yeah, I have been traveling to all kinds of places to create this form of joy and positivity.
Tell me a bit about your daily practice, Gurdeep, because that obviously the dancing arises obviously from something larger within you. Tell me a little bit about your daily practice and how you've been, in your own way, coping in this last year where we've had some real issues.
Yeah, like everybody, we are all humans. We are all part of this larger network. So everything impacts everyone. So things impacted me too. But I try to see them in a positive way. I try to see that, hey, let's take it like a long, dark night. There will be a sunrise one day. So that hope for a beautiful sunrise that kept me going. And my practice, like waking up in the morning and doing my little chores in household, and then dancing. Dancing is like a therapy, it's like meditation, like being out in the nature, just practicing this, getting fresh air, just connecting with the land and the nature. It is just setting up the mood for the day, like how I'm going to interact with the world, how I'm going to interact with the people, how I'm going to transmit my energy, whether it's through in person or through social media. Yeah, how you start your day, and at least once in 24 hours, connecting with the land or nature, being in the fresh air, it is very important. And I think this kind of practice, which I have adopted since the start of pandemic. It helped me a lot being happy despite everything.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about where you are in the Yukon. Are you in a town? Are you out in, in a remote part of the Yukon? Where are you?
Right now, I'm living in the wilderness in a small cabin, which is close to Lake LaBarge. A lot of people know about Lake LaBarge because it's famous due to poetry of
Yeah,
Robert Service.
exactly.
This
Yeah.
is, yeah, this is around 40 minutes drive from the city of Whitehorse, I mean. So yeah, my nearest city is city of Whitehorse, where I go quite often to do like important things. Uh, yeah, I'm living in wilderness in the forest, close to nature. Yeah, I was born and grew up. I grew up in a farming family in Punjab, so I'm in touch with nature, like outside world from day one. So it also brings me close to my own roots as well.
Well, but you've been in Canada for 10 years, and I read about how you traveled much of the country, and you could have made a lot of choices on where you decided to live. How do you figure out the Yukon was it for it?
Yeah. Actually, I've been living in Canada from last 15 years.
Oh, 15
But
years.
yeah, 15 years. But I became Canadian, like Canadian citizen 10 years ago. Uh,
Yeah.
so I lived briefly in other parts of the country too. I lived in BC, Squamish. I lived in Saskatchewan, a little bit in Alberta. And 10 years ago, I decided to go on a cross country tour just to learn about
Mhm.
Canada and people, cultures here, just to find how people in small, remote community live in. Being from a village in Punjab, like it was inspiring me, very exciting for me to go to those communities. Yeah, and during my exploration, traveling, I ended up being in the Yukon around 10 years ago, and I ended up staying here because I fell in love with like vast open mountains, nature, wilderness, wildlife here. Um, so yeah, so that's how my journey started in the Yukon.
Yeah. It's beautiful there, of course, but it's also remote. You know, so does dancing also help you overcome a little bit of the remoteness? Does it make you feel communal with something else?
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you that Yukon is remote. Very, our closest city is Vancouver, which is 2 hour long flight.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's a long way.
Yeah. So yeah, that tells that it is really remote. But being remote, I like that there's a quietness. People are living their lives here the way they used to live a few decades ago. Like some people are still living in cabins. Like me, I'm living in a cabin life. I have an outhouse, things like that, doing things. I do not have even running water. I haul my water. So living like the way people used to live a couple of decades ago in Canada. So despite uh, remoteness, despite everything, it is a wonderful place. And as you said, that dancing, it really helps. It really helps uh, finding the joy. It really helps creating connection. Like, sometimes finding a joy is not like you need to connect with someone else. First, connecting with yourself is also very important.
Yeah.
And dancing, this allows me, it's like exercise. It's like any exercise or any therapy. It allows you to create that wonderful connection with yourself, and it creates happiness from your core. Like I always say to people that happiness is not just a smile which your lips create. Happiness actually comes from your core, from your heart, from your soul. So when happiness is coming, you reflect it through your face or lips. That's I believe in. So dancing, it allows me to generate that joy in the core of heart, and really wonderful joy and really amazing, and which is um, it's which is like an amazing feeling. So dancing every day in the nature, despite being in a remote community, it is very helpful.
Have you been surprised at what the worldwide response has been to what you're doing?
In the beginning, yes, it was really a big surprise for me because I totally did not expect it. I never thought that the whole world would be watching my videos. Yes, I started posting my videos just to show my local friends or family, but I did not expect that whole Canada or beyond Canada, people would
Yeah.
be watching them. Uh, that came a big surprise for me. But then I started to take it very positively that hey, maybe that is the way to spread this to the world, this positivity, joy, which we all know that um, we have created a lot of things in the world. We create a lot of technology. We have created really wonderful machines, which are awesome, but we have forgotten about positivity. We have forgotten about joys. We have forgotten about, so sometimes when we read about why people are unhappy, sometimes we read that in different articles that sometimes it happens because we see negative side first of everything. But we can make a different choice to see a positive side first. Like when we see positive side of the same thing, our whole perspective changes. So I thought that probably like nature wants me to inspire people to think positive side of things first. So it came as a big surprise, but I think now I'm settling with this surprise.
It's not bad. It's a good thing to settle in on to get used to it. What part of the world is the farthest that you've heard from, by the way?
I have heard from from people who are living on the Arctic Ocean in Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have in Canada. I also heard from people living in far east, like East Coast, like Newfoundland and Labrador, small communities like Happy Valley, Goose Bay. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing
Yeah, no.
incorrectly. Yeah,
Goose
yeah,
Bay,
yeah,
Labrador, yeah.
and yeah, Labrador, and everywhere in the BC, Alberta. But if I go outside of Canada, then people from everywhere in the US, like I heard people writing me from tiny islands around the UK. I heard from people in Africa. Yesterday, I heard people from Japan and other parts of Asia. So they are from everywhere. They are from everywhere, and I feel that our planet, our small global village, they are reaching out to me, and I'm feeling really grateful about that.
You've found a very good use for social media at last, Gurdeep. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So do you? So again, tell me a little bit. What is there a routine on how you choose a site, determine you're going to go off, certain time of day that you always shoot? Most of I think all the videos I've seen have been in daylight. You haven't done any. Well, you probably have done some late night ones, but I've seen mostly during the day. Yeah. How do you choose where you're going to go and what you're going to do on a given day?
Like I do not make any long range plan. I have some short term plans like, hey, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I will be going there. Or this day of week, I will go there. And sometimes things come up very spontaneously, like depending upon the weather. Hey, today this site is looking beautiful. Let's go there. I check on internet, different places. I have a good circle of friends. They suggest me time to time, go to this place, go to that place. So
Yeah.
there are many sources or many reasons which every day I I think where I should be going. And also, yeah, most of my videos are during daytime. I have made videos in early mornings, then in the evenings as well, but majority of them are during the daytime or late afternoon time as well.
So I mean, it's probably goes without saying that you're likely one of the few who are dancing Bhangra in the Yukon, right? So are you getting invited to perform for places? Are you getting invited to teach people on how to participate? We have you turned this into something, almost like an industry for yourself?
No, I did not turn into an industry or business, but yeah, sometimes people pay me little honorarium or fee, which I consider is more like part of living. Yeah, people have been inviting me to different events to perform where I have been doing less after the COVID, but before COVID-19, I was doing more. Um, I've been to almost all Yukon communities, even very remote ones, as far as in the north, Old Crow, to dance, to
Mm.
perform. Yes, local organizations. I'm I'm in touch with them. I have been collaborating with them. I'm performing in their events, so it has been going great.
Are you doing online classes at all?
Yeah, after the pandemic, I shifted my all in-person classes into online classes. So a lot of people have been joining, which has been a great experience
Yeah.
because it expanded me outside of the Yukon, outside of Whitehorse. So now people from all over Canada, even beyond, they can join. And lots of
Right.
people, actually far away communities of our country, um, as far as very far east or very far north or from villages, they have been joining my classes. Um, I have students from very, very far north of Quebec. Uh, I have a student who lives right on the Arctic Ocean. So
Wow.
yeah, I was lucky to find these very unique remote connections through online classes, and yeah, they are going on since the start of the pandemic.
Let me give you a 10 or 15-second commercial here. How do people find you to enroll or to hook into your classes?
So usually people go to my website, which is gurdeep.ca, which is my first name.
Yeah.
And when people go to my website, there are options to book my classes. Um, I have a minimum price, but after that, there's a pay what you can, like pay what
Mm-hmm.
you can with the minimum price. So that allows people with different financial budgets to book my classes. Some people who have
Nice.
a tight budgets, they pay less. Some people who have a better like income, they can pay more.
I know that Ryan Reynolds has liked what you're doing. You've had, you know, you've become a celebrity, right? Do you would do you have a goal for what you want to do with this, Gurdeep, or you just playing it a day at a time here?
I don't have any like a set goal. What like anything like I want to achieve out of it. I'm just happy that I'm creating smiles across country, even beyond. I'm very content well with that. Yeah, I saw people like Ryan Reynolds sharing my work, other people doing the same. I felt grateful to them. I'm thankful to them. I think that is. I felt that that is strength of my work. That I'm keeping it more like non-commercial, more like organic, more like just pure joy. Uh, um, yeah, I will continue doing that, spreading smiles, spreading joys. I want to do a cross-country happiness tour, but it will depend
Oh,
upon COVID-19, and
yeah.
let's see how we are going with this pandemic. And afterwards, I will do that.
Yeah. Well, from the bottom of my heart, congratulations. I mean, everybody I know who watches your videos along with me just think it adds such a lovely, brilliant touch to our days. And I can't thank you enough for doing that for all of us.
Thank you so much, Kirk. Thank you so much for your wonderful, beautiful, and warm words. I am grateful to you as well for inviting me and sharing my thoughts.
All right. Well, we'll get you out on that tour. We'll see you in the Vancouver leg of it.
Maybe yes.
All right. Gurdeep Pandher, lovely to talk to you. Let you go with your day, and all the best. Stay well, stay safe up there.
Thank you, Kirk. I wish you the same. Have a wonderful day.
And I didn't ask you to teach me, if you notice, because there's a good reason for that. Like, we'll save that for another life. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. We'll go there.
Maybe I can teach you in person, hopefully.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It'll be a private session. I can guarantee you that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, my friend. Thank you for inviting. I wish you all the best. Have a joyful day.
Thank you. You too. Gurdeep Pandher. I'm Kirk LaPointe, BIB publisher and editor-in-chief. You've been watching BIB Today. We'll see you again.